This video introduces you to some of the advanced features in the MLA DataView software. As you can see, we've started the program and loaded a number of database files. We'll have a look at some of the advanced features such as combine and compare, and also the mineral grouping feature. Let's start by looking at compare. To access this feature, highlight the word compare and right-click. Select the option Create, which allows you to create your own compare data list. The program lists all of the files which are available for this feature. To select the files which you want to include in your comparison, simply click in the square brackets to mark the selected files with an X. In our case, we'll choose all 3 files. If the files aren't in the order that you would like to see them in your final tables, you can rearrange them using these arrows at the bottom of the window. Simply highlight a file name and use the arrows to move the file up or down in the list. I'll put the files into order of size, with the coarsest size fraction at the top and the finest size fraction at the bottom. Give your compare list a name which describes its contents. And click OK. This puts the comparison list into the compare section. Now, to access the tables for this comparison, we simply highlight the compare and then choose from our list in the bottom pane of data exploration the table that we'd like to see. Let's choose calculated assay. As you can see, the table is generated and lists each of the files that we've selected for our comparison. You can export this to Excel, as we showed before in the introduction to DataView. Other tables are available. You can explore those for yourself to see which ones are the most useful for you. Let's look now at the combine feature. This allows you to combine size fractions or any databases in proportions which you choose for yourself. To use the feature, highlight the word combine, right-click, choose the Create option, and as before, select the files which you wish to combine. Now you can see that we have an extra column over here marked proportion, and this allows you to enter the relative proportions of the files. If you wish to, you can use percentage values or simple ratios. The choice is yours. If you use percentage values, note that the percentages do not have to add to 100%. Let's enter some data. As before, we can rearrange the individual files if that helps you to enter the data more easily. You can see down here it shows you the total for the proportions, so that gives you some check if you do wish to have your proportions summing to 100. Again, as before, give the combine data a sensible name so that you can refer to it. And click OK. So to use the combine feature, highlight the combine set that you want to work with and then click on a table that you want to generate. In this case, we'll test modal mineralogy. So the program runs through the calculation and gives you a combined modal mineralogy for those three databases in the proportions that you selected in your combined dataset information. So this is quite useful, obviously, for combining size fractions from a single stream to recreate the stream data. Another useful feature is the mineral grouping function, which is available inside the Other option. So here you can see under mineral groupings we have the current grouping, which is ungrouped. So by default, all databases come with the minerals ungrouped. Sometimes we want to condense the mineral list. For example, if we look at the modal mineralogy table for one of the databases, you can see here that the mineral list is quite extensive. And we might wish to look at things in a more condensed format. So let's create a mineral group that condenses the mineral list into something that's easier to read. So we right-click, select Create, and now we're able to create a new mineral grouping. Let's choose the copper minerals in this copper ore and add those as individual items in the grouping. And let's select all other minerals and add those as a combined group. So you can see that those minerals have moved across to be group 1. If there are any minerals left that you want moved across, simply select the mineral, select the name of the group you would like to add it to, and click on the button Add Minerals to a Group. So you can see now we've cleared our minerals list, and on this side we have all of our minerals in groups. Sometimes these large groups have names that don't describe the contents of the group, and if you'd like to change that, simply right-click, select Rename, type in new mineral name that describes the contents of that group. If you're happy with your mineral list, click OK. And now over here we can see the new mineral grouping is listed. To access the data there, let's have a look at how we use that. If we select one of the databases, look at the modal mineralogy table, and now a dialog comes up to ask which mineral grouping you'd like to use in generating that table. So if we choose new mineral grouping and select OK, you can see our modal mineralogy table is much more condensed than previously. We have the individual copper minerals there, and all others are combined into this category here. So the mineral grouping is a good way of condensing the data, and it's completely flexible. Another way you can change tables to look at the different types of grouping data is over here in the Properties pane, where under Mineral Groupings you can select from the drop-down list which data you would like to see. So you can swap between them quite readily. Hopefully you'll find those features useful. Go ahead and explore the data yourself.